like the pine trees lining the winding road. I got a name, I got a name.
Reason number 4. The most successful people in life have a learning mindset. The Harvard Business Review reports that only about 10% of the population out there have what it calls a learning mindset. The Harvard Business Review also reports that those who have a learning mindset are the most successful people. Bill Gates, the founder of Microsoft, the late Steve Jobs, the founder of Apple, Jeff Bezos, founder of Amazon, the multi-billionaire investor Warren Buffett, are famous for their learning mindsets. They are voracious readers. They are voracious studiers. They have active minds. No matter how successful these men are, they are never content just to stay where they are. They are always striving to improve, to get better, to learn more. All highly successful people have a learning mindset. I mostly create direct mail and internet marketing advertising campaigns for my clients. My direct marketing mentor is a man by the name of Richard Viguerie. Richard Viguerie mails about 150 million direct mail marketing letters every year. He is one of the world's most admired and imitated direct marketing pioneers. And even though he is 77 years old, Richard Viguerie still attends direct marketing seminars and conferences all the time. Often these seminars are taught by people who are barely qualified to carry Richard's briefcase. So why does he attend these seminars? Well, because he knows that he will likely hear at least one idea or one actionable strategy that will literally make his company millions of dollars. That's what just one idea can do for you, or one twist on an old idea. He just told me about a course he bought from Gary Bencivenga over the internet for $5,000. Gary Bencivenga is one of the top direct marketing copywriters out there. I asked Richard how he liked the course. Richard told me that he liked it a lot. He said, not that I really learned anything that I didn't already know, but Gary Bencivenga revived and reminded me of a lot of principles that I knew but hadn't thought of much lately. He had a fresh perspective on a lot of this that I find enormously helpful. That's what Richard said. Now that's a learning mindset. Now I'm sure that many times you're sitting there in class and you were thinking to yourself, I've heard all this before. I know this already. I'm bored. But here's the truth. Even if you aren't learning anything especially new from the course, just hearing the concepts and principles again, perhaps in a slightly different way, helps reinforce your knowledge. It's not enough just to know something. Repetition is also critical, or the knowledge never really sinks into your brain. That's why practice and training are so important. I tell my kids, who generally are not thrilled to do their homework, that it's not enough just to hear the teacher tell you something, or to read through a book once. You also have to practice what you've learned. Math is actually very easy if you know the method of solving the problem. But math is very difficult if you don't know the method, the formula, the theorem, or the rule for how to solve the problem. And if you haven't practiced solving the same kinds of problems over and over again, you'll freeze, you'll panic, and you'll forget how to solve the problem when that kind of problem comes up on your ACT test or your SAT test. Learning experts say it requires repeating a movement or maneuver 30,000 times before the mind and body can really be considered trained to do that move or maneuver instinctively. In other words, you don't want to send a rookie police officer who mostly just has book knowledge into a dangerous situation. Same goes for firefighters and soldiers. It's the training that keeps them alive. Practicing the same maneuver over and over again so that your reactions become instinctive. If you have to think about what you must do in a pressure situation, you aren't yet trained. And you're probably not going to be able to pull off the maneuver or the move. You're probably not going to be able to do the problem when it comes up on your SAT test. The point of training is that you're able to make exactly the right decision, exactly the right maneuver without thinking. You do everything by instinct. So that's part of the learning mindset. Never say, I knew that already. No need to hear that again. Because hearing it again, hearing it over and over again reinforces what you've learned, carves out what you've learned in your brain, so that you don't even have to think about how to solve the math problem. You know exactly how to solve it the instant you see the problem. It becomes instinctive to you, like walking. You don't have to think much when you walk. It's become instinctive. You don't want to think about how to solve the problem. You want to know instantly how to solve the math problem the instant you see it on the page. The best doctors, the best lawyers, business people, the best artists, the best athletes all have a learning mindset. Do you really want to go to a doctor who is not completely up on the latest medicine? No. You want the cutting-edge doctor. You want the doctor with the Bill Gates mindset, the Steve Jobs mindset, the doctor who's not satisfied with just being good, but who wants to be the best in the world at what he does. You want the doctor who is absolutely fanatical about being the absolute best doctor he can possibly be. Those who have this learning mindset happen to be the ones who achieve their dreams in life. For them, work isn't work. It's actually more like play. It's like a competition. They treat work as like a game they try to be the best in the world at. Great business leaders like Bill Gates of Microsoft, Jeff Bezos of Amazon, the late Steve Jobs of Apple, the multi-billionaire investor Warren Buffett, the real estate tycoon Donald Trump are really not doing what they do for the money. They all have all the money they will ever need. They don't go to work because of the money. They aren't motivated by making more money. But they keep going to work anyway because they love it. They always strive to get better at what they do, even though they are among the best in the world at what they do already. The money comes in because they are so good at what they do. The money comes in for them almost automatically. Plus, I just think learning is a lot of fun. When you learn a new skill or build on a skill that you already have, it's just so fulfilling and empowering. I think, wow, I can't wait to try that. Then when I've learned this new skill, I think, wow, I can't believe I can do that now. Something that seemed so out of reach just a short time ago. Perhaps it's learning how to use a new powerful software program, like Photoshop. Or perhaps it's learning how to put up a website, or learning how to play the guitar or piano. Maybe it's something as simple as learning how to do a handstand. Learning new things all the time is just great for your mind, great for your body and soul. Learning actually makes you healthier and happier. Those who use their brain actively throughout their lives, who exercise their brain, who push their brain, are far less likely to suffer from Alzheimer's or other brain disorders and mental illnesses. Learning new things all the time keeps you alive, keeps you energized, keeps you motivated, keeps you optimistic about the next day and the days that lie ahead. The great opportunity that you have in school is that you are introduced to all kinds of subjects and activities. Yes, there are certain basic core skills that you have to learn to be successful and to move on to further study later. And yes, some of what you learn in school is going to be boring. Sometimes you're going to get a boring teacher. That's just life. You have to learn how to read, how to write, how to do basic math. And it's hard work to learn all these basic skills. That's not always the most interesting. And there's a lot of repetition involved. But you really can't go anywhere in life without having these basic skills. You should also know some science, some history, some geography, so that you know something about the world in which you live. But school also introduces you to all kinds of other fascinating subjects and topics as well, so that you can begin to decide what you'd really like to focus on in more depth later in life. Most schools, for example, offer music, art, theater, shop, woodworking, athletics, technology classes, computer programming courses. You're going to kick yourself later in life if you squander this incredible opportunity that you have right now to learn something about a lot of different subjects and to develop a variety of skills that will serve you for the rest of your life. So develop a learning mindset. This means develop a love of learning. A love of learning for its own sake, because learning new things is just so much fun and so life-enhancing. You'll be a much happier person if you are just learning new things all the time. Learning new things is food for the brain. And if your brain is not fed all the time, if you don't exercise your brain, if you don't feed your brain is going to die. Most people actually get stupider as they move through life. They get stupider not because their brain stops working, but because they stop working their brain. They stop learning new things, and they begin to forget the things they've learned. The opposite of a learning mindset is an idle mind. You have probably heard the proverb that an idle mind is the devil's playground. And it's so true. People with idle minds are usually unhappy, unfulfilled, even depressed. They often engage in destructive and self-destructive behavior. They just have too much time on their hands. Too much time on your hands tends to make you a very unhappy person. Never have an idle mind. Always strive to learn new things, new skills. Set goals for your learning. If you want to learn the guitar, establish a schedule for learning the guitar, and find a teacher to teach you the guitar. This is how you move forward in life, rather than stay stagnant. This is how you stay optimistic and confident about your future instead of allowing pessimism and insecurity to creep into your thinking. We know how important confidence and optimism about the future is to your success. The way you gain confidence and optimism is by learning new skills. Skills that allow you to achieve your goals and fulfill your dreams in life. Learning new skills is how you keep moving forward in life.
Like the pine trees lining the winding road, I got a name, I got a name. Like the singing bird and the croaking toad,